normal day for Dennis. Dennis was not enjoying his life on the island of Sodor. Recently he was, when he joined Diesel and the other Diesels, and when the months passed and he wasn't allowed to move, he wanted to leave, but he knew Diesel wouldn't be fond with that idea, and he was still easily bullied by the other Diesels. He admired Derek getting out of the sheds, and he wanted to do that too, but unfortunately he didn't have the courage. One morning the 4 Diesels were asleep when Dennis heard a loud noise from the distance. "Wow," said Dennis, "that is one big loud noise." "What noise?" yawned Den. "Yeah," said Dart, "we're trying to go to sleep." "Would you guys be quiet?" said Diesel. "Sorry," said Dennis, "I thought I heard something over the distance. Let's just go back to sleep." "Agreed," said Den, and with that the 4 shut their eyes and went to sleep. Just then they heard it again. This time Den was ready. "Dennis was telling the truth," said Den. I can hear it." "Me too," said Dart. This time Diesel heard it, but he didn't want to give in to it. He didn't want to give in to it. It was just a plan that Dennis was informing, but Diesel did not want to. "I didn't hear it," said Diesel. "Can we just please go back to sleep while I go and inspect?" said Dennis. "No," said Diesel. "Dennis, is there something else you want to ask?" "Not at all," said Dennis. "I was just looking for an opportunity to stretch my wheels." "I would imagine so," said Diesel, when he heard the noise again and roared away out of the sheds. "Oh, my wheels, they ache, he groaned, and with that he puffed into the yard and he saw a line of steam engines. They were trying to see what was going on. "What's going on?" asked Diesel. The Fat Controller has been making this loud noise all morning," said Bell, "and we woke up about it," said Dash. "It's to do with the magic buffers," said Bash. "That is very interesting," said Diesel. "It's not," said Hank. It can be sad for us though." "I would imagine so," said Diesel, and he roared away. When he came back, the Diesels asked him and felt tired again. Was something going on, sir?" they said. "No," said Diesel. "Let's pretend that was nothing. Anyway, let's go to sleep at once," he said, and with that the 4 Diesels were asleep again. Meanwhile at the siding, there was the Fat Controller and his workmen with Butch, Byron and Rocky. They were ready to destroy the magic buffers. "Attention everyone," he said. "The time has finally come to destroy the magic buffers." Right, you want to do that, sir?" they said. Because the other Diesels from the other railway want to distract me from the things I want to do," he said, "and I never get the chance to do them. Like I said, destroy those buffers and we're building the same shed there in that same spot." "But the other engines want to know what's going on, sir," said the workman. Shall we tell them what's going on?" "No," said the Fat Controller. "They'll freak out and it's the last thing I'll do. You hear me?" "We already heard you, sir," they said. As you can see here, one workman is guarding the line so that the engines won't go through. Well, he's doing a good job, right? "Yes, he is," said the Fat Controller. "Thank you. I'd like to thank this man keeping this line guarded, but make sure you all keep an eye on him all day. I need to make another phone call while I'm gone, so please destroy the buffers." "Yes, sir," said the workman. "Well done," said the Fat Controller. "That's all you can all understand," and with that he walked away. The workmen were ready. "All right," they said, "let's get started," and with that they were ready. "Butch," they said, "pull as hard as you can." Butch didn't feel like destroying the buffers today. "All right," he said, "when this is finished it will all be over," and with that Butch's hook was chained to the buffers. He pulled and he pulled and he pulled. His chains had snapped, and Butch twisted over and back to his own same spots next to Byron, but he was closer to Byron. "Wow," said Butch, "those buffers are powerful." "I see," said Byron. "I better bulldoze them," he went on, and with that, he was ready to bulldoze the buffers. He pushed and pushed, but unfortunately he was pushing the track back and forth, and when the Fat Controller returned, he was very annoyed. "Have you all been sitting there doing nothing?" he said. "No, sir," said the workman. "We tried to destroy the buffers, but they're indestructible, sir," said Byron. "Indestructible, huh?" he said. "I see. Guys, I need to make a phone call. Butch and Byron, you're all no longer needed there." "Oh, we're not, sir," they said. "Yes," said the Fat Controller. "I really need to make another phone call. It's really important. So please all of you wait patiently." And with that, the Fat Controller walked away. When he returned to the yards, he found that the other engines were still here. "Attention," he said. "Why are you all still here? We've been hearing a noise this morning," said Bert. "And what's going on over here?" The Fat Controller felt embarrassed in front of his engines. "I can't tell you what's going on," he said. "Sir," said Bash, "you must tell us, sir. We just want to know, sir." "Sir, we just want to know," said Bash. "What is really going on?" "Yes, sir," said Dash. "We do really want to know. We just want to know what's going on over there." "Sir," said Bell, "we're your engines. We've been loyal to you. Just tell us." "No, I can't," said the Fat Controller. "It's something sad, and it will all make you freak out, and it's the last thing I'll do," he went on. So please leave me alone while I'm doing my work over that same siding you guys keep going on about, and then you'll all know it. And then you'll all know it after it's over." "We understand, sir," said the engines. "Good," said the Fat Controller, and he walked away. When he was about to walk away, he heard some arguing going on. "Oh, this is interesting," he went on, and he was ready to run back to the siding. When he returned to the siding, he saw a familiar diesel he didn't hardly recognise, and then he began to search for the workmen. "Where are you all?" he said, and then the workmen got out of their hideouts. Sorry, they said. "We just got a little bit scared there. They said. "Who is this?" said the Fat Controller. I don't know, sir," they said, but it appears he came out of nowhere. "Who are you?" said the Fat Controller. "I'm Norman, sir," said the diesel. "I mean you no harm, sir. I just know what I'm doing, he said. "I see," said the Fat Controller. "I'm one of Paxton's friends, sir," said Norman. "One of Paxton's friends?" said the Fat Controller. "Oh, Norman, you must leave at once. You're not supposed to be here." "I understand, sir," said Norman. "All I do is want to talk to Paxton," said Norman. "Paxton's not available at the moment, so you can't be with him right now. Norman, we don't need you here. I know this will sound mean and cruel to you, but you need to leave. Just because you're one of Paxton's friends doesn't mean you can hop onto the Sodor Railway." "I understand, sir," said Norman. "And Norman," said the Fat Controller, you're not supposed to be here. You must leave at once." "You must leave at once." "I understand, sir," said the Fat Controller. I've heard so many good things about the island of Sodor. I just want the shot." "I know," said the Fat Controller, "but you need to leave. Your controller would flip out if he found out that you were in my railway." "But sir," said Norman, "we have no controller. Didn't Paxton tell you this?" "Yes, he did," said the Fat Controller. The other railway is in danger, sir, said Norman, and you must allow me to stay. I can't, said the Fat Controller. I just can't accept you in my railway, he said. But I want you to, said Norman. I need to talk to Paxton or to Dennis. Do you have an engine named Dennis here? Yes, I do. What's it to you? I need to talk to those two. Now, please. Norman, please, back away. Norman was very cross. You know what? No, I won't, he said. He bumped into Rocky. The Fat Controller jumped clear as Norman charged all over Rocky. Slow down, said Rocky. You're going to make the Fat Controller send me away. I must make a breakthrough. I must, said Norman, and he was still shunting Rocky all around the line. The man was scared and saw what was going on. Oh no, he said. He jumped clear, and then Rocky came off the tracks and took out the tree. And then Rocky was derailed. You didn't have to do that, said Rocky. Now the Fat Controller will send me away. Sorry, said Norman. When you see the Fat Controller, tell him I'm sorry for the mess, and you must tell him that he must not send me away. I'll try, said Rocky, and with that Norman sped away. The Fat Controller picked himself up off the ground, and he even dusted his clothes off the dirt. Great, he said, just great. I was nearly run over by an engine who I don't know is looking for Paxton or Dennis, he said. Sorry, sir, said the workman. We could have stopped him, sir, if he had made his charge. Oh, no, that's okay, said the Fat Controller. Guys, he said, this project has been suspended. What does it mean, sir? Asked the workman. It means the project has failed, but don't worry about that. I think we have a couple of sit-backs, if you get my meaning. Yes, sir, said the workman. What are you going to do to Norm? What are you going to do with Norman when the next time you see him? Said the workman. Well, said the Fat Controller, I am really going to send him away, but Paxton's at the works, so I can't talk to him right now. So maybe Dennis might know all about this. Maybe he would, he thought to himself, and he walked away to the diesel sheds. The Fat Controller had just finally walked over to the diesel sheds. It was a few feet away, but he managed to walk to the diesel sheds. Just then, the Diesels were surprised to see the Fat Controller again, and then the Fat Controller told the Diesels about Norman. I don't know who this Diesel is, but if any of you see him, you must tell him that he must know that he's not supposed to be in my railway, he said. The Diesels were amazed when a new Diesel was on the railway, but it became a shock to them. If you see him anywhere, you might hide him or something like that, and you mustn't do that, he said. Please tell him that he must know that he's not supposed to be in my railway, 'cause he's not, he said. 'Cause he's not, he said. You must tell Norman that when you see him, he's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to be here, indeed. We'll do that, sir, said the Diesels. But it became a dire situation to them. The Fat Controller spoke to them again. All I know is that he's looking for Paxton or Dennis. For me, sir, said Dennis. Why would he be looking for me? Why would he be looking for me? I don't know, said the Fat Controller. Maybe he might want to talk to you. What does he look like, sir? Asked Den. He's bright orange. Bright orange? Said Dennis. You said his name was Norman, right? My golly! My golly! He wants to see me again! Really? Said the Fat Controller. Really? Said the Fat Controller. I see, Dennis. That's interesting. I know he may be a brother, but you must tell him that he must know that he's not supposed to be here, right? Dennis knew this was going to be tough now that Norman was his brother, but he knew he had to be a really useful engine. The Fat Controller spoke to Dennis once again. Dennis, why don't you come out to the sheds, he said, and then we'll look for Norman together. Oh, sure, said Dennis. I'd love that. Diesel soon gave Dennis a glare. I don't think he would. He would. You know what, said Dennis, I would love a run for a change. Dennis, said the other Diesels, what are you doing? What's going on? Asked the Fat Controller. Goodbye, Diesel, said Dennis. I don't listen to you anymore. The Fat Controller is my boss and I'm allowed to do as he says. Goodbye, Diesel. Other boy, Dennis, said the Fat Controller, and Dennis sped away. Get back here, Dennis, said Diesel. We're dropping like flies, sir, said Den. I know that, said Diesel, and with that, it was only just the 3 Diesels in the sheds left. Dennis and the Fat Controller both came back to the yards together. The Fat Controller spoke proudly to Dennis. I'm very proud of you today, Dennis, he said, but I must go back to my house. I must go back to my house now, he said, and when you see your brother anywhere, you must tell him that he's not supposed to be here. Yes, sir, said Dennis. That's a good engine, said the Fat Controller. I really must go home, and he walked away to his home. Dennis knew that this was going to be tough now that Norman was his brother, and then he had an idea. I know I'm supposed to be a really useful engine, but if the Fat Controller is going to really send Norman away, he is really going to. I must not let him do that, he said. He had another idea. I know, I'll hide Norman somewhere, and when the Fat Controller needs a new engine, he can get Norman, and then he won't even have to owe himself some more money. And then Dennis finally had his own idea. Finally, he said. And now the Fat Controller will soon keep Norman, and he won't have to pay his wages anymore for a new engine. And with that, Dennis trundled away to make his plan.